This is a compilation video of some of the zombie movies I reviewed, as well as a few shorts tossed in. Thank you. Enjoy. Appreciate it. You need to watch Dead Snow, a 2009 Norwegian horror comedy, and Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, 2014. I try to do spoiler-free movie suggestions as much as possible, so I'm not going to include every single detail, because you gotta watch the movie yourself. Hello and welcome to The Quiet One, where we talk about entertainment and movies, especially horror movies, because that's my thing. So in Dead Snow, we have a group of students spending some vacation time in the cabin in the woods, as usual. An older man shows up and he starts talking about World War II and the Nazi invaders. Well, eventually the Nazis become zombies and they start hunting the kids in the cabin in the woods. This is it's kind of along the lines of Evil Dead, because there is some goofiness to this, and kind of along the lines of Shaun of the Dead, but Shaun of the Dead was really more of a comedy to me. In Dead Snow, there's a lot more blood and guts than Shaun of the Dead. This is more of a typical zombie movie. And like Evil Dead, there's a chainsaw involved. So, you know, going into this, it's going to be kind of goofy because it's about zombie Nazis. And it's also pretty brutal because it's about zombie Nazis. It's subtitled, the one that I watched. I don't know if they have any dubs out there. So do keep that in mind if you really hate reading while watching a movie. I personally like it. I like hearing their language is interesting to me. Now, Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, is in English, and it's a little more goofy, it's a little more out there. You don't have to watch the first one in order to get the second one, but I do suggest it only because there's going to be some references in the second one that you may get from flashbacks in it, but it's always more fun to watch the first one than the second one. So the plot of the second one, Dead Snow, Red vs. Dead, a man seeks the aid of a group of American zombie enthusiasts and discover new techniques for fighting the zombies. This one, like I said, is a little more out there, as crazy as that seems. I think both are really great in their own right. I think I almost like the second one better, only because it's more campy. I really don't want to give anything away, so you are going to have to watch it, and you have to tell me what you think. And one of the guys in here, actually, I thought for a split second, is that Flake from Rammstein? It's not. He just looks like him. And if you don't know who Rammstein is, they are an awesome German rock band. I never had the chance to see their concerts, but they are really awesome from what I've seen. And these guys are like 60 years old, but I'd still go see them in concert. There's a lot more action in the second one too. A lot more people, a lot more, Nazi zombie fighting. So if you have seen this or you decided to see it because of my video, please let me know down in the comments. This is such a fun movie. I think you'll like it. Like I said, if you like Evil Dead, if you appreciate Shaun of the Dead, I do think you will like this. And right before the credits, there's a scene that will make you laugh and cringe at the same time. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, watch the movie. So I hope you like these movies, Dead Snow and Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. It is so fun.
No way to treat a bicycle? Was that so hard? What did you say?
I mean, no, Mrs. Henderson.
What are you looking at, Theophilus?
Did you know that they have 6 zombies? 6. So I told her we had 1. What was I supposed to do? Tell her that my husband is afraid of zombies?
Just touched her face.
Touched her head, the top of her head.
Watch.
Don't do that.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
Test. We back on? Oh. Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problems.
It's intense.
Hello and welcome. This video is going to be a movie suggestion for you to see World War Z. It's a zombie horror flick from 2013 starring Brad Pitt. He plays Jerry Lane, who is a former United Nations employee. I'm going to try to make this as spoiler-free as possible. This is my movie suggestion video, so I try not to give too much away. If you're interested in learning more about the movie, there are many more videos on YouTube if that's what you're into. I hope you watch the movie and come back and give me your impression of it. I would love to hear from you. I am a zombie enthusiast.
Zombies.
I don't necessarily know why, but I guess it's because you're killing the zombies, but you're not actually hurting anybody. You know, if nothing else, you're taking them out of their misery and you're stopping the spread of a deadly virus. So, you know, hey, it's a win-win. You don't have to feel guilty about it.
Guilty!
And anything that can bring something new to the table is always interesting to me. So I'll get to it. Hope you enjoy.
Oh.
Is it really fast?
No.
Does it live on the Great Plains of Africa?
No. Hey,
What is going on?
careful on the road. Jerry?
Back in your car right now! Remain with your feet!
And of course, the zombie virus spreads throughout the city. And look at that guy, look how he jumps. Whee! So they're pretty powerful, these zombies. Now, I know, first of all, yes, they're driving through a city, it should be traffic, but if I have to tell you not to take a zombie movie seriously, I'll tell you not to take a zombie movie seriously.
It's a movie.
Can be serious about the making of it, and if it's a good movie, but don't try to read too much into it. But it is a lot of fun. But these zombies are different. Just like 28 Days Later introduced us to fast zombies, these zombies are fast, but they also form like a big ant mound. I mean, look how they pile on top of each other. Tell me that's not at least a little impressive. And if you're a zombie enthusiast like me, I think you'll understand why I appreciate this so much.
Thank you, zombie boyfriends.
I wouldn't go that far.
It makes yet another zombie movie interesting. It brings in something different. And I'll be the first to admit, it's not a perfect movie. It seems to drag on in bits. There are a lot of things they could change. I mean, it does have the stereotypical, oh my god, you know, we're in peril and our daughter has asthma.
Leave the kid!
It's nothing new in terms of that. Every time I watch it, I'm like, wow, they're really lucky that this huge truck came in and just barreled through and just pushed cars out of the way so they could drive out. Obviously, not very realistic, but again, I reiterate, it's a zombie movie. You sit back and you have fun and you watch a zombie movie. That's what zombie movies are for, to escape reality for a little bit, have some fun, and just sit back and enjoy it. So I really hope this helps you decide if you want to watch the movie or not, or give you an idea for a movie to watch if you've never seen it. And as I mentioned before, the zombies are a little different. They're faster, not like the typical like Night of the Living Dead zombies. And I don't know if there's necessarily an intelligence to them, but there is an aspect to them that's a little different than the other zombie movies.
Can't help but feel a little rejected.
I don't want to give anything away, but you'll watch it and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Hello and welcome. This video is going to be about a specific clip in 1968's Night of the Living Dead. Now, if you have not heard of Night of the Living Dead, the basic gist is a group of people try to survive in the zombie apocalypse. And these clips are in color. They actually have a colorized version of Night of the Living Dead from 1968, and I'm pretty excited about that. In the beginning, we meet Barbara and her brother Johnny as they go visit the grave of their grandfather. But this video is going to be about a specific scene featuring the character Ben, played by Dwayne Jones. I remember watching this scene, watching this movie years ago, and then on rewatching it, I swore this scene was recorded and filmed and played in the movie, but it wasn't. Dwayne Jones was such a good actor, especially in this role, that I think the way he told the story, it made me feel like I saw what he was explaining. So I'm going to let you watch a little bit of the beginning, some iconic scenes, and then we will get on to the scene with Ben, played by Dwayne Jones.
Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boy, you be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny,
You're still afraid.
stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
And she is trying to outrun these zombies. And Barbara escapes on her own. She's held up in this house, and this is when she comes across Ben.
I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us.
Now, I love this film, obviously, or I wouldn't be suggesting it, but this whole thing where Barbara just kind of goes Nell-like. Maybe she's gone through a lot of stress and in shock, but it always kind of annoyed me a little bit. But, you know, at least we have Ben. He's actually doing some work in the other room while she's in the other room spacing out. But anyway, this upcoming clip is great, and I'm going to let you just watch and enjoy.
They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's? Beekman's Diner? Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there. There's a radio in the truck. I had jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. And those things were catching up to it. The truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it's like a moving bonfire. Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Still hear the man screaming. This thing is just backing away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. That was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except... By now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things, just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move. They didn't run or just stood there staring at me. Just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
Now, if I'm ever stuck in the zombie apocalypse, please give me Ben. Never give me Barbara. Okay, that's not going to work for me. I don't want anybody else but this guy. At least he had some common sense and he knew what to do. But this movie is really great. I highly suggest you watch 1968's Night of the Living Dead. There's been remakes and sequels, but nothing beats the first. Dawn of the Dead, 1978. I'm sure you all are familiar with Night of the Living Dead. We're talking about Dawn of the Dead, and there was actually a remake in 2004 which had the similar premise. They are survivors of a zombie outbreak, and they take refuge in the mall. Now, the one from 1978, it was written, directed, and edited by George A. Romero, who also did the same with Night of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead has a lot of different aspects that you might not expect from a horror movie, or from a zombie movie, I should say, especially from back then. This is about humanity in a way, because not every single thing that they fear is from zombies. There are also some survivors that have chosen, to be a little more violent about the situation, and they also must defend themselves against these horde of bikers. Ken Foree, he was also in Dawn of the Dead, and you probably have noticed him in other movies as well. I believe I first recognized him from Devil's Rejects. He played Sid Haig's character, Captain Spaulding's friend. He also had a role in the remake of Dawn of the Dead from 2004.
Satan is sending his dead to us. How do you think your God will judge you? Now we know. When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Whether or not you're a zombie or horror movie lover, it's one of those movies that you really gotta check off your movie watching bucket list.
I have nothing against hippies. I just want to beat the shit out of them.
You write it, Dawn.
Usually I talk about movies that you should see, hidden gems, all that stuff, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie that I did not care for and I don't think you should watch. But you know what? That's okay. They can't all be winners. I am talking about Zombieland Double Tap. It came out in 2019, and yes, I just watched it for the first time the other day.
We are office drones. All we do is work.
Zombieland Double Tap is a sequel to Zombieland from 2009. So obviously 10 years have passed and a lot has happened within that time. Well, kinda. Not so much actually. Zombieland we'll talk about first. Zombieland is a comedy horror, I suppose. It's a comedy, a little bit of horror, because it is based around zombies. Hence the name. The movie starred Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. Woody Harrelson plays the best character I've ever seen him play, which is just kind of what I really would expect Woody Harrelson to be like in real life. Not really. More of a cowboy, I guess, who's obsessed with Twinkies.
No Twinkies.
Jesse Eisenberg plays Columbus. He's very much a germaphobe. He has rules to live by, which is always fine. I have rules too. But he is very scared of the world in general. So when the zombie virus or whatever it is that spread that turned people into zombies, you would think he is not built for this world. But actually he is, because he was pretty much a loner anyway. And so this hasn't changed much for him. I can kind of relate.
I have friends. I definitely have friends.
Emma Stone plays Wichita, and Abigail Breslin plays Little Rock. Amber Heard's in it for a minute.
Shit the bed!
That's all I'm going to say about that. And Bill Murray plays himself. He has a little cameo. Now, this came out during the time when there was a zombie explosion. Zombies everywhere, zombies in everything, which is okay with me because I love zombies. But what made this different is it's a comedy, and it very much kind of spoofed the other typical zombie movies. It was a fun movie. It was great. Now we'll go on to Double Tap, unfortunately. So, as a sequel to a popular movie, albeit 10 years later, you do expect it to have callbacks. You do kind of expect it to say, hey, remember when we made this joke? Haha, I get that. I expect it, that's fine. But it seemed like the whole dang movie was nothing but, hey, remember Zombieland that came out a decade ago? Yeah, this is a sequel to it. They tried to do the whole, oh, the young teenage girl wants to be on her... teenage girl, she can't really be a teenager, can she? Yeah, I think she was 12 in the original, supposed to be, so she'd be 22. But anyway, she's getting tired of living with the same 3 people, and she wants to go out on her own. And this little hippie pothead, comes into her life, and she runs away with him. So they go on the search to find this Little Rock. And then this one woman comes in. What was her name even? Let me check. She plays Madison, who's kind of like, I suppose, preppy type of person wearing the, like velour tracksuits that were popular maybe, 10 plus years ago. And her character is irritating as hell. They could have made her really girly girl, really kind of just dopey. I got that. That would have been fine. But at least give her some sort of personality. I couldn't have cared less about her. But she's in there, and we've got to deal with it. Luke Wilson also makes cameo. Rosario Dawson is in it a little bit. She's kind of like a female version of Tallahassee in a way. My point is, this was a pretty long movie, way longer than it should have been, or should have just been better all the way around. And it's an hour and 39 minutes. So it's not really that long. It just felt like it took forever. And I feel really bad. I understand having some callbacks. That's fun. That's what we're here for. We all watch the movie because we like Zombieland, the first one. They could have made it a little more interesting, instead of constantly reminding us this is a sequel to the beloved Zombieland, so therefore we should like the sequel. No, it was very annoying. The characters, all the characters became annoying after a little while. I still love Tallahassee though. Tallahassee, Woody Harrelson, he's great. Great character. But having said that, this movie is not worth watching, and I'm sorry. It was more of a chore to finish the film than anything. And that's my opinion. There might be some people out there that absolutely love Zombieland Double Tap. And if you love the movie, I would love to hear why. I'm sorry. No, put your opinions down in the comments. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you want to watch it? You're going to avoid it? You're going to watch it now that I told you how bad it is? Whatever. Just let me know in the comments how you feel about it. And it's a shame because it could have been great. It could have been hilarious, but it just felt like no one tried. So that's my review of Zombieland Double Tap. I know it wasn't much of a review, but it wasn't much of a sequel. So enjoy it if you watch it. If you hate me and you want to start typing away and tell me how wrong I am, I'm good with that too. Maybe I missed something. It just wasn't for me. Also, they have different types of zombies throughout the movie. They have Hawkins zombies, they have the Homer Simpson zombie. That was kind of lame. Different movies have different types of zombies, like Night of the Living Dead zombies are slow. Then you have World War Z zombies who just pile over themselves like ants. Then you have 28 Days Later zombies, which could not be classified as zombies depending how you look at it. I still call it zombies, let's not get technical. So I thought that was funny. But when they mentioned the Homer Simpson zombie, just because they're stupid zombies, I'm like, okay, this is kind of dumb now. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review. If you didn't, I'm very sorry. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't waste your time watching Zombieland Double Tap. Have a good day. Bye. Did you notice these two zombie bros in The Dawn of the Dead from 2004? One of my favorite movies. Did you notice those two zombies in the crowd? On the left and the right there. Of course, this is just a bunch of extras. I'll point them out. Looks just like two regular guys hanging out in the zombie horde. On the left and the right there. The guy on the left looks like he's like a little annoyed. Probably been doing this all day. The guy on the right looks like he's calling for someone. And to be honest, they all look a little lost, but he just had this expression that I just see every single time I watch that movie now. And the second guy looks like he's just having the time of his life. I'm not gonna lie, he looks like he's smiling. I could be wrong, but you know, I just thought it was interesting and thought I would share it with you. So thanks for watching. Okay, bye. Shaun of the Dead from 2004. It's a comedy zombie horror film.
Z-word, don't say it.
The perfect mix of zombie and comedy. Absolutely love it. 29-year-old Shaun is not having the best time as a retail worker. I mean, who is? Am I right?
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
He's an electronics salesman who is mocked by his younger co-workers.
You got red on you.
He also has a strained relationship with his stepdad, Philip. He's been in a long-term relationship with his girlfriend, Liz, but forgets to make a reservation at a restaurant for their anniversary. Soon after, Liz dumps Shaun for not taking anything seriously and is disappointed in his lack of motivation. Wallowing in self-pity and pints at his local favorite pub, the Winchester, with Ed, he gets drunk and unknowingly passes by a couple zombies on the way to their home. Once they make it home drunk, they start playing some music, and their roommate, Pete, runs downstairs and puts a stop to their record playing because he's tired and he had a hell of a day. Everyone at work called in sick. And to top it off, Pete got bit by someone who he thinks is a mugger. Pete tells Shaun to grow up and insults Ed.
And the front door is open again!
Now, one of my favorite scenes is when they realize there's a girl in the garden.
In the garden, there is a girl.
So they go out to see what her deal is. They think she's drunk, so they don't really see her as a threat until she starts pawing at Shaun. And then he pushes her. She falls back onto this metal thing sticking out of the ground. It looks like maybe an umbrella stand. Anyway, she pulls herself back up and she now has a hole in her torso. That's when they realize, okay, something is wrong. Later on, she is joined by another man outside who is also a zombie. They're watching the news and they realize something bad is going on.
Ensure all residences are secure with all doors and windows firmly locked and
Shaun of the Dead is a perfect combo of comedy and zombie horror, and Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite movies in general, but it's a definite must-watch during this month of October. So many quotable quotes, too. I probably repeat a saying or phrase from this movie every so often. There's also many callbacks to iconic horrors of the past.
We're coming to get you, Barbara!
Even Shaun of the Dead is a play on the movie called Dawn of the Dead. Now, you don't have to love horror in order to love Shaun of the Dead. It's a great comedy as well. It's not too dry, as most British comedies are, but it is your standard British comedy. Funny and smart, and just a lot of goofiness and off-the-wall stuff. And it has some heart, too, of course. There are some touching scenes, as well as iconic, insane scenes. I love zombies too, not in the way like Tina from Bob's Burgers loves zombies. I might have mentioned this before. She loves them in a totally different way. I really like zombie films. But if you have seen Shaun of the Dead, let me know some of your favorite phrases in the comments. And if you have not seen it, check it out. I promise you that if you have a good sense of humor, you will like this. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!